Good evening. It's Uncle Matt here, and I'm here to read you another bedtime story. And today, being Friday the 13th, I thought I would read you maybe a little bit of a scary story. This one is called The House at the End of the Road by Kari. This story was copyrighted in 2019. Are you ready? Let's begin. It says here in this back here, Robert, do I hear bouncing again? And over here, every summer my brother Patrick and I visit our grandma. Our cousin Robert is usually there at the same time. He stays with grandma a lot. Grandma has 3 old bikes, and one of our favorite things to do is explore the town. This is what happened last summer. Who do you think lives there? Look at that old place. No one. Let's go closer. That's a bad idea, Robert. Look. Hey! Have you ever seen a window break? No, Robert, don't. I don't think Robert really wanted to break the glass. The rock just tapped the window and skipped into the gutter. Suddenly, a ghost. And then we had a problem. What about the bike? Forget it, no way. We should tell Grandma. The next day, we had to tell Grandma. Grandma said it was the old Peterson house. Mr. Peterson had been Grandma's favorite teacher when she was a girl, but he wasn't a ghost. I'll take you there after breakfast. You 3 can apologize and we'll pick up the bike. Where is that child? We were all pretty nervous. I hope Grandma's sure about that ghost. Come along now. Whoa! We soon learned about Mr. Peterson's sense of humor. Ah! Ha 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 ha. He invited us inside the old house. My goodness, Robert, get down. It was full of fascinating things. Each one had a story. There were films that played on a whirling projector and piles of old books about plants and animals. Some had flowers pressed in them from years before. Mr. Peterson showed us toys that moved without batteries and an old photograph of a swimming hole. We could hardly believe he was the boy in the striped bathing suit. When it was time to go, Mr. P gave us each a gift. An old camera for Robert, beautiful pencils and a notebook for me, gardening tools for Patrick, and an old-fashioned board game for Grandma. We visited the old house a lot over the summer. We loved it and its cool, dark basement. And its tumble-down garden, still pretty in its own way. Then one day, Mr. Peterson wasn't there. Instead, there was a man posting a sign on the door. He said that the house was old and unsafe. Mr. Peterson had been moved out. "No! Go away! Robert, what are you doing?" Grandma found out that Mr. Peterson was taken to a retirement home by the river. He caught a bad cold, so no visitors for 2 weeks. By then, summer would be over, and we'd be gone. We decided to go back and save Mr. P's things, but we were too late. Everything was gone. Robert stormed off. Patrick found a little tin under the porch and started filling it with seeds and clippings from the old garden. Maybe we could save something for Mr. P. I sat down and started to write. That evening, Robert came back so late he almost missed dinner. He finally showed up with an envelope of photos he had taken. The pictures were of ordinary things around Mr. P's house, but somehow Robert had made them look beautiful. Robert was full of surprises. "Hey, did you go back inside the house, Robert?" We packed our collections in a box before we left. Grandma promised to deliver our package to Mr. Peterson. And she did. I can hardly wait for next summer. The end. Well, that wasn't so scary after all. And that's all the time we have for Uncle Matt's bedtime story. I hope you enjoyed that story, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.